Afternoon, folks. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, and I'm down here at the Pathfinder Outdoor Classroom. I've got my Jeep down here beside me, and I'm kind of unloading and loading some things for a trail life event this coming weekend up north of Columbus, Ohio. But while I was doing that, I was pulling out my stove, making sure everything was fueled up, lanterns, making sure they're fueled up, and it reminded me that some folks had asked me about my Coleman Dual Fuel collection and why, okay? A lot of guys collect Coleman stuff, no question about that. I'm not a big Coleman collector. What I do have, and you're looking at almost the entirety of it right here, is multiple pieces of Coleman dual fuel equipment. I have 4 different stoves. I have 3 different lanterns. We'll talk about each one of them in a minute. But the mentality behind that is that whether you are a homesteader, whether you're prepping, whether you just want to be ready for an emergency disaster of some kind, like the power goes out in your house from high wind or storms, some type of overlanding, car camping, it really doesn't matter. These stoves fit into every single one of those categories. These lanterns fit into every single one of those categories for one reason alone. They will burn unleaded fuel. They will not only burn white gas or Coleman fuel, they'll also burn unleaded fuel. And that is really the most accessible fuel source you're probably going to have in any emergency, whether you're at home or in your vehicle. Obviously, your vehicle runs on gas. Generally, you'll have things at your home that will run on gas as well, like vehicles, like mowers, tractors, all those types of things that you keep gas around for. And you can obviously store gas for a period of time as well, as long as you put some kind of gas treatment in that gas. So generators generally run on gas. So things that you already have probably run on gasoline anyway. So why would you restrict yourself to something that will only run on white gas, or heaven forbid, something that will only run on propane for an emergency, okay? The same thing in my mind with overlanding and camping. The most accessible fuel source I'm gonna have, no matter where I am in the United States, is gonna be unleaded gasoline. Propane to me is a pain. You've got to carry the tank. You've got to refill the tank. You need a gauge on the tank to tell you how much gas is in the tank. You have to be careful of it in cold weather. It freezes up even in hot weather sometimes. The tanks freeze up. We have that experience in our forge a lot until we got a great big tank with the smaller 20-pound tanks. So there's a lot of disadvantages to propane, including availability in an emergency situation or on the road. That's where unleaded gas things like these Coleman dual fuels come into play. So let's talk about these dual fuels today. They've gotten fairly expensive over the last few years to buy them new. I noticed there's very few sites even carrying the Coleman dual fuel series stuff. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them at REI, place like that, but most of this stuff is over $100. $100 or over. And if you're looking for something that's not made anymore that's dual fuel, the price is even higher, especially if you get one in really good condition. However, if you keep your eye on things like marketplace, flea markets, yard sales, estate sales, you can get this stuff really, really, really affordable. I've bought Coleman lanterns that were almost brand new, dual fuels, for under $40. I've bought stoves that were in very, very good working condition for under $50. So that's half or less of what they sell for brand new. And you can find them a lot of times in brand new condition because people buy them, set them aside, don't use them for a lot of years, and then they decide they're going to get rid of them. Some guys are scared to burn unleaded gas in them because they're afraid they're going to blow up. So they just don't use them for what they're meant for, and they get rid of them. I'm here to tell you, these things have a spot in your kit, in your home, in your truck, and all the time when it comes to all of these categories, these dual fuels are great for that. So let's discuss them real quick, what I've got here. And I've kind of stepped up from the small stuff to the big stuff on purpose because I want stuff that I can, I hate the word bug out, but things that I can take or carry over distance. And I like the things that are good for a small camp. And then I like the things that are bigger for car camping or for family cooking, for emergencies and things like that, if I said the power goes out, okay? So as far as stoves go, the first one I've got here is called the Featherlight 442. It's got extendable legs on it, very much like the old Aladdin stove 1942 mod had on it. And it's a single burner stove that burns dual fuel. In other words, it will burn unleaded gas or it will burn Coleman gas or white gas. It's got a single burner on top, pump cap, on-off valve, or start valve, and cook valve. It's pretty simple. It really, really is. The good thing about Coleman stuff is, number one, it's fairly easy to work on. And number two, parts are fairly readily available. That's the good thing about Coleman as well, okay? The next one that I've got here is, the burner is really the same size as the 442, but it's a little bit bigger, but not much. But this is a 533 dual fuel, and the tank is bigger, okay? So this would be more for like a base camp situation where I've got some type of mode of transportation, like a four-wheeler or something like that. I don't want a full-size stove, but I want a nice big burner to sit on the ground that's going to give me plenty of burn time. I can cook an 8 or 10 inch skillet on this thing with no problem at all. This is good for that, okay? Then you get into the bigger stoves. So when you look at the bigger stoves, you've got a model 424, which is a dual fuel 2-burner stove. Really not big enough for anything more than about an 8 inch skillet. 2-quart bush pot, 8 inch skillet is perfect with this. If that gives you any kind of an idea of what your cooking apparatus are going to be on this stove, those two fit it perfectly. 2-quart bush pot, 8 inch skillet, perfect size for this. So if you are by yourself, live alone, something like that, this is going to be plenty for you in an emergency. If you're traveling alone, this is going to be plenty for you as well. This is the one that I travel with the majority of the time. The 414 dual fuel is a dual burner, but it is a lot bigger stove. It can handle 10 and 12 inch skillets very, very easily. 3-quart bush pots, stock pots, things like that. So if you're family-oriented situation, this is what you want, okay? Now you can get these dual fuels, I believe, in a 3-burner. I do not have one. One of these days I'll buy one if I find one at the right price. I don't have one now. But this is the larger dual fuel. This is more like a guide series powerhouse, okay? And it's bigger for bigger pots, bigger pans, bigger families, things like that. I wouldn't carry this. Very rarely would I carry this if I were car camping, but it's great for home emergencies. But if you have a family, that may be a different story. Okay, let's talk about lanterns real quick, all right? I have 3 different size lanterns here. This one is the model 229. This is a single mantle, backpackable lantern. It has a sleeve here. You can also get a hard case for it. I just haven't found one yet at a price I wanted to pay for it, but you can get a hard case similar to the ones in the back there for the larger lanterns. You can get one for this as well. It's red. All the ones I've seen have been red, okay, to protect that glass. This is a very small packable lantern. Again, if you are going with a situation where you've got one of these single burner stoves, this is kind of the match to that scenario where you've got a stove and a lantern, both that will burn, again, unleaded or white gas. They made a single mantle larger lantern this size, but they're very hard to find, and I think most of them were for export. It's called the Coleman Dual Fuel 1. I don't have one of those. I've only seen a few pictures of them, but they are out there. This one, however, is a dual mantle lantern. It's got 2 mantles inside of it, but it is kind of the midpoint between this small one and the large powerhouse dual fuel beside it. This is the powerhouse dual fuel. This one I have the original globe for. It has kind of a flared globe on it. The original does, but I had this amber glass with this reflector shield behind it that also fits this lantern. And I like this one the best for like car camping, things like that. So I carry this one with me in that black case right behind it there when I'm camping. And usually the 424 stove is usually the combination that I stay with. The smaller lantern's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I like this amber glass. And I don't have amber glass for this one, but I do for the bigger one. So I just carry the bigger one. All of them have plastic cases with them. And I would strongly advise that you have a heavy duty plastic case or a wooden box for any of these lanterns that you carry to protect the glass, because that's the main downfall of this type of lantern, is that it has glass. Again, this setup right here is pretty much all inclusive from, you know, camping in small scale to camping in large scale, base camping, all the way to a home emergency scenario. You've got it covered with this kit right here. 3 lanterns, 4 stoves, but you could do it with 3 easy enough probably. But I've got the 4 stove in here with this 533. This one I just have it because I got it fairly cheap. This one right here will do the same job pretty well. With those extendable feet, goes really good with this smaller lantern. Now, one Coleman accessory that I would probably look for if it was me is one of these Coleman camp stoves that fits on top of your burners and makes an actual camp oven. Excuse me, camp oven, not camp stove. This one is from 1967, so it's an older version. It's heavier metal than the newer ones are. If you can find an older one, it's probably going to be heavier duty than the newer ones, but you can still buy these fairly new, as far as I know, for about 50 bucks, and you can usually find a used one like this in the box with all the paperwork in original condition like this for about the same money. So it's just a good thing to have with you if you're going to do any baking and things like that, especially if you're family camping, you're carrying a bigger stove. Doesn't hurt anything to carry this oven as well. I don't generally carry this if I'm camping by myself. I'll use a bush pot. One thing I'd recommend, if you can find one, you can find these on Marketplace a lot, but this is the aluminum version with the screen of the Coleman plastic funnel. The reason I like the aluminum version is, again, if you drop it, something like that, you're not going to break it. If you stepped on it by accident because it fell off a table, you're not going to break it. If you bend it a little bit, you could bend it back. But I've never hurt one of these things. I've got 4 or 5 of them, and they've got a screen inside them to keep any dirt and debris out of your appliance, whether that's a lantern or a stove. And again, they're just heavy duty. So if you can find one of these for 20 bucks or under, you can usually find them for that in the box. I would go with the aluminum funnel, not the plastic that they make nowadays. Let's fire one of these dual fuels up just so you can kind of see how easy that is. I'm going to pump this thing about 15 times, somewhere in that neighborhood, until I kind of feel some good pressure in it. It's in the off position now. The fuel cap's closed, all right? I'm just going to look for the vent hole. I'm going to turn this thing on burn. Give it just a second to saturate everything. Then I'm going to turn it way down, and I'm going to light it. All right. And we'll just turn her down. Let those mantles get hot. Little at a time. Just kind of fiddle with it a little bit until you get it where you want it. Once they start burning good, you'll be able to open that dude up a little bit more. The longer it runs, the more you'll be able to open that dude up, okay? You want to avoid flames coming out of that dude. You just want those mantles burning bright and bright like that. And that thing is a beauty right there, boy, for sure. Got that nice shield on the back of it to reflect all of that light forward. That is one beautiful lantern right there. A couple glowing eyes in the dark. I love this thing. There we go. Now we can crank her up. She's nice and warmed up. Look at that. Beauty. If it starts to go dim on you, you can just open up this thing, give it a couple more pumps, and lock it down, okay? What I generally do with this thing is I turn it off. It'll take it a minute to burn out. I'll wait till it burns all the way out and it's cooled down. And what I generally do is I open this valve to release some pressure so that when you pump it, it's not putting any pressure in. And then once it cools down, I'll usually crack the gas cap a little bit to make sure there's no pressure left in the tank, and then I'll store it. All right, let's fire up this 424 here and take a look. See how easy these are to start up for you. Open her up, get the tank out. Most of these Coleman stoves, if you close this latch, put this handle up, it'll seat better in there for you on the rack, okay? See, I've got a funnel in mine. And again, it's the same story. Give that thing a few pumps. Turn the switch up to light it. Turn the gas on. There we go. You don't need flames 5 foot high. Just trying to heat that tube up so it drafts. I got a little bit of a wind problem here. I'm gonna put this windscreen over on this side real quick here. Now, if you want to burn the other side, you've got a tab on here, and you just turn that tab to open that burner up. You might want to turn your gas up just a little bit when you do that. You can see I can open it up now, and I got blue flames. I don't have yellow flames anymore. I see smoke coming out of that. So it's ready to light. Give it a few pumps here real quick. Now she's rocking and rolling. Look at that. Let me turn that thing down, and we got solid blue flames on both sides. Pressure in the tank. We're ready to rock and roll. That thing is ready to cook on right now. Right now. Beautiful. Perfect burn right there. Perfect burn. When you're done, turn it off. You can even blow those flames out. Close off to one side over here. Lock it down and shut it off. Let her cool down. Same thing applies. I generally open this valve up here, and then when I take the tank off, I'll generally bleed the tank, any air that's in the tank, store it away once it gets cold, and fold it back up, and I'm ready to go. All right, guys, I appreciate you joining for this video today on these Coleman dual fuel items. Again, you can find them a lot of places fairly cheap, but to buy them new is fairly expensive. However, I would say that it's worth paying the money for them because they are long-lasting items. There's lots and lots of Coleman products that are over 100 years old that are still in use to this day. So to buy one new, you could probably expect it, if taken care of, to last another 100 years. And it's going to outlast you, your kids, and probably be into your grandkids before it's gone. Okay, so that's just another thing to think about when you're buying something like this. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for school, for family, and for business. All of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, friends, and please check us out, selfrelianceoutfitters.com, because we make the best cookware on the market today to use with these type of appliances or on the campfire. Thanks, guys.